Our story today begins in a medieval garden at dusk. The sky glows with the last brush of amber light. Lanterns flicker in the breeze, and the fragrance of lavender and thyme floats gently around you. Here, in this serene space, we will peel back the myths that cling to the Middle Ages, myths that twist truth into legend, leaving behind stories that were never quite real. Breathe slowly and let your mind rest among the swaying herbs as we drift together into these tales. The first myth whispers from the shadows, the old tale that medieval people thought the earth was flat. Yet this was never so. Scholars, travelers, and dreamers of the time gazed at the horizon and knew, with calm certainty, that the earth was round. Imagine a ship disappearing into the distance, the hull sinking from sight before the sails. To them, it was proof, as clear as the stars above. As you picture this, feel your mind expand, like that endless horizon, curving gently, infinitely, reassuring you of the vastness of truth. Another tale, often told with laughter, is that medieval thinkers wasted hours debating how many angels could dance on the head of a pin. But this was never their concern. It was a joke invented centuries later, a shadow of mockery, not a candle of truth. In reality, their thoughts were deep, their studies profound, their questions aimed at understanding the mysteries of heaven and earth. Let this realization ease through you like warm candlelight, knowing that what seemed silly was never theirs to carry. You walk now, barefoot, along a soft stone pathway. The night deepens, stars beginning to prick the sky. Ahead, a castle glimmers, its windows glowing softly. Step inside with me, into its hushed and gentle halls, and feel the myths unravel like cobwebs in the morning sun. One of the darkest myths is that medieval people never bathed, that they lived in filth and grime. But the truth is different. They loved water, steam, and the comfort of cleansing. Imagine warm bathhouses, pools filled with scented herbs, laughter echoing in tiled chambers. Picture the steam rising, wrapping bodies and souls in gentle comfort. Let this warmth surround you now, cleansing your own mind, washing away tension and heaviness. And then there is the story of short lives, that people rarely lived past 30. But that number is misleading. Many did live long lives, well into their 50s, 60s, even 70s. What lowered the average were the fragile lives of infants and children, so often taken too soon. Yet, for those who grew beyond youth, the years could stretch long and full. As you hear this, allow yourself to feel the strength of continuity, the promise of time unfolding gently ahead, just as life did for so many before us. Deeper into the castle, you find yourself in a library. The air is cool, and the scent of parchment lingers. Shelves of manuscripts rise high, their spines glowing in the candlelight. It is here we uncover another illusion, the Iron Maiden, that terrible cage of spikes. But it was never real. It was a later invention, not a device of the Middle Ages. Instead of horror, imagine silence, books, and knowledge resting peacefully in this room. No cruel machine, only the stillness of thought. Nearby, a door opens to a quiet courtyard, where a fountain spills softly into a stone basin. Its music is soothing, like a lullaby of water. Here lies another falsehood, that chastity belts were locked upon women to keep them pure. Yet these were not true relics of the time, but fictions born of later centuries. Allow that realization to ease your mind, releasing fear, replacing it with the gentleness of truth. Now, sit by the fountain, hear its trickle, feel the night air cool upon your skin. The myths unravel, one by one, like old fabric loosening its threads. The earth was never believed to be flat. The angels never danced on a pin. People bathed in fragrant waters. Many lived long, contented lives. The Iron Maiden never pierced flesh, and chastity belts were never locked with cruel keys. These stories are not of cruelty or ignorance, but of humanity curious, flawed, kind, and searching. As you listen, allow your breath to mirror the water's rhythm, steady, flowing, calm, in and out, in and out. Let yourself drift deeper into this dreamlike state, where myths dissolve into truth, and truth settles like soft blankets around your mind. The garden, the castle, the library, the fountain, they all fade into the background, leaving you held in stillness, wrapped in comfort, and ready to rest. Pause, soft, imagined silence, a hearth crackling faintly in the distance. Breathe in deeply now, and as you exhale, imagine the air leaving your chest like a sigh that carries away all heaviness. Your body grows lighter, softer, as if it were dissolving into the cushions beneath you. Each word that follows is simply a gentle wave, guiding you further into rest. Our journey continues, and tonight the myths we uncover shimmer like fading stars, illusions that once seemed solid, but now dissolve into nothingness. Step with me, barefoot still, down a spiral staircase in the castle. The stones are cool beneath your feet. Each step echoes softly, a hollow hush that guides you deeper. At the bottom, a great hall spreads before you, and here another myth awaits. They say peasants of the Middle Ages ate only stale bread, that their diets were joyless and thin. But in truth, the fields, forests, and markets offered more. Picture tables of stews filled with beans and herbs, baskets of apples, nuts, onions, and soft cheeses. Smell the fresh bread baked in ovens, sweet honey dripping slowly, golden and warm. Though hunger was real in hard years, food was not as dull and empty as the myth suggests. Allow the thought to comfort you like a hearty bowl placed in your hands on a cold evening warmth, filling you, nourishment sinking deep. Across the hall, torches flicker against stone. Imagine knights stepping into view, clad in armor that gleams like silver moonlight. Many believe these warriors clanked stiffly, trapped like statues within their suits. Yet this is not true. Their armor was crafted to move, joints fitted carefully, weight distributed so they could walk, run, even mount a horse. The myth of immobile knights fades, leaving behind the truth of skill, of craftsmanship, of bodies that could dance across battlefields, despite the steel upon them. Picture this movement, graceful yet strong, and let it remind you that burdens you carry may not weigh as heavily as you once thought. And then, witches, shadows swirl, and in the whisper of the wind you hear tales of flames, of countless women burned for witchcraft in the Middle Ages. But pause now, let us look closer. In truth, the great witch trials belong not to the medieval era, but to later centuries, when fear swelled and hysteria spread. The medieval world did believe in magic, yes, but the scale of burning was far smaller than legend tells. Breathe this truth in gently, and as you do, allow old fears in your mind to crumble like dry leaves underfoot. We walk now toward a window where moonlight streams across the floor. Outside, the village sleeps beneath the stars. Look closer with me and see another story undone. People often imagine every medieval home was a dark, one-room hut, smoky and bare. But many homes were brighter, with painted walls, woven cloth, carved wood. Not all were grand castles, of course, yet there was beauty and care in even the humbler spaces. Candles glowed, fires crackled, children laughed, and families shared warmth. Let this image soften you, as though you too sit in one of those rooms, wrapped in woolen blankets, safe and content. The myths keep unraveling, like threads pulled slowly from an old tapestry, and each unraveling seems to draw you deeper into peace. They say doctors then were cruel, that bloodletting and leeches were their only tools. Yet this, too, is only half the story. They studied herbs, crafted ointments, mixed potions from plants, honey, vinegar, and wine. Imagine their gardens, filled with sage, rosemary, lavender, chamomile scents, that heal, scents you can almost breathe in now. Some methods were strange to us, yes, but they were not without wisdom. Just as you find healing and rest tonight, they sought it in the gifts of the earth. From the village, we walk into the fields, where night air is cool and the grass whispers softly against your skin. There is another myth that peasants never laughed, never celebrated, living only in misery. But life was not so bleak. Festivals filled the year, feasts of color, music, dancing, games. Picture ribbons flowing, drums beating, the taste of sweet mead on lips, the sound of laughter rising high into the night sky. Feel yourself joining them, swaying slowly to the music, body light, heart unburdened. Now, pause, breathe. The stars above grow brighter, almost close enough to touch. Their silver light scatters myths like dust in the wind. One final illusion lingers in this night's chapter. The idea that castles were cold, lifeless prisons of stone. In truth, many glowed with warmth, bright banners, colored glass, carved wood, fireplaces roaring with heat. Walls were painted with stories, ceilings draped with cloth. Imagine lying beside one of those great hearths. The fire's glow, flickering across your face. Hear the crackle, feel the warmth, sense the calm that spreads through stone and soul alike. The myths fade, one after another, and with each fading, your body feels lighter. The earth is not flat. Nights do not stumble in stiff cages. People were not strangers to laughter, to bathing, to warmth. The past was not only shadow, but light. And as this light lingers, so does the softness in your breath. Inhale deeply now, and exhale slowly, again and again, each time sinking deeper into tranquility. The garden, the hall, the village, the fields, the castle, they all drift into haze, leaving only calm, only stillness. And still, our journey is not yet done. More myths lie waiting to dissolve, as dreams themselves dissolve into morning. But for now, let your body surrender, let your mind float, and let the myths fall away like stars fading before dawn. Pause. Soft hush, the sound of distant bells tolling gently in the night air.